Welcome back. You're watching India Business Hour, and Apple and Samsung have committed to upgrade the software on their 5G-enabled phones by the end of this year. Ashmit Kumar gets us more.
Well, even though the Prime Minister unrolled 5G on October 1st, chances are that your Diwali celebrations are unlikely to feature a 5G call or a 5G experience. The reason being that the devices are simply not ready. What does that mean? Well, let's keep in mind that there are devices that are being sold that you've probably purchased which are 5G ready or 5G enabled. The question, however, is that of a software update. A number of these companies need to issue an OTA or over-the-air software update to unlock the phone to make it 5G ready. Now, this is a concern that, in fact, the DOT, the government is conscious of, the Ministry of Electronics and IT is conscious of. In fact, this morning they had a meeting with the handset manufacturers. The likes of Samsung, Apple, Xiaomi were present at the meeting. The government expressed its concern, and that seems to have invited some form of action. In fact, we reached out to the likes of Samsung and Apple. What they tell us, Samsung is specifically, in response to the government's concern, has said that the mid of November is by when they will start rolling out these OTA or over-the-air software updates, and that's when the phones will be unlocked for the users to start using the 5G experience. As far as Apple is concerned, it's slightly delayed. By December is by when Apple has confirmed that they will be rolling out these OTA software updates, which will then enable the iPhones to be ready before the end of the year as far as 5G is concerned. So that is some action coming in after the government expressed concerns that this is a thrust area for the manufacturers. They need to enable that. The telecom companies are rolling out 5G. It's time for the handset manufacturers to pull up their socks and to make their phones 5G ready, to unlock the phones. That's the message coming from the government.
All right. Thank you very much, Ashmit, for joining us. So there was a high-level meeting taken place at the Telecom Ministry urging cell phone manufacturers to make sure that they're 5G enabled as soon as possible. Let's now get you a special report now from Rajasthan, part of our rural series. Nearly 70% of Rajasthan is covered by desert, and the agri-dependent population of the state mainly depends on rainfall to make a living. Now, over the years, efforts to introduce better irrigation systems have meant that today, tubewells contribute over 30% of the state's agricultural and domestic needs. But it's these very tubewells that are now running dry, putting lakhs of livelihoods at risk. In this edition of What's Ailing Rural India, CNBC-TV18 Santia Gora visits Jodhpur, one of the state's 10 large districts which are designated as desert land, but support a major portion of the agri community. Take a look.
This is Rajasthan's Tivri-Mathania region. It lies around 35 kilometers from the city of Jodhpur and is predominantly desert land. But for over 2 decades since the mid-90s, the region did not have a problem with water scarcity, mainly because almost every farm in the region housed multiple tubewells which formed the bedrock of their irrigation system. In the last 10 years, however, the situation has changed drastically.
पानी खारा आता, जमीन खारी हो जाती, धान बीज हलता नहीं है, हाँ पैदा कुछ नहीं होती। अभी स्थिति बहुत माड़ी है, बोरिंग बहुत ऊंडा गया, पानी ऊंडा गया, अपना ट्यूबवेल करे, पानी नहीं मिल रहा है। पहले तो पानी मिलता, अभी तो मिलता ही नहीं है।
हम दूसरी जगह से पानी लाते हैं, यहाँ से 3-4 किलोमीटर दूरी से।
दूसरा पानी तो आता है, कितना दिन चलेगा कितना दिन नहीं चलेगा वो कोई मालूम नहीं है। वो चलता है तो आधा वो पानी वाला रहा और आधा हमका रहता है, आधा तो वो पानी वाला ले जाता है।
For farmers like Dedaram, who cannot afford to depend on the region's irregular rainfall to sustain his 5-acre fields, the situation has become dire. A depleted groundwater table has meant that the 3 tubewells which serviced his farm have become useless. He now fetches water from over 3 kilometers away to ensure his crops of garlic, cotton, groundnuts and chili do not wither away.
दिनों दिन पड़ता ही गया, आने वही एकदम पड़े, दिनों दिन बिल्कुल धीरे धीरे बंद होगा। पर कोई ट्यूबवेल में खारा भी हो गया, ठीक है, बिल्कुल बंद हो गया। हमें पानी बारों लाल ये फसल पाई है। अरे हमारी इन साइड में आगे है 2 किलोमीटर पानी बिल्कुल खारा है, जो पानी बारीक होने आवे खारी जमीन ना हो जाए, पावा कौन खेत पड़िया, क्या काम है।
His son and neighbor Sonaram chimes in with some stark numbers.
अभी 2 साल पहले हमने एक बोरवेल और कराई थी, जो अभी अब मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ, उसमें एक बूंद भी पानी नहीं मिला है। दूसरी जगह से हम 4-5 किलोमीटर से पानी की व्यवस्था करते हैं, उसका लगभग हमारे हिसाब से 1 बीघे में लाख रुपए का लगभग खर्चा आता है।
The state government is aware of the situation, but its efforts to provide aid have not been very successful, and this has the farming community frustrated.
राजस्थान में अंडरग्राउंड वाटर जहाँ भी पेयजल लायक था, खेती लायक था, वह सब डार्क जोन की स्थिति में है, सब सूख चुका है और सरकार ने वाटर शेड के नाम से हजारों करोड़ रुपया इन्वेस्ट किया है, लेकिन वो भ्रष्टाचार के गया है.
As of 2020, the Central Groundwater Board says that of the 295 blocks in the state, the underground water levels had been overexploited in 203 blocks, so nearly 69% of the state's blocks that cannot be used anymore. The water level in 23 other blocks had reached critical levels, shrunk to semi-critical levels in 29 blocks, and only 37 blocks have water levels above levels considered safe. 3 of these blocks have been categorized as containing saline water. The report also points to rising level of magnesium, fluoride, chloride, sulfate, calcium, uranium, and arsenic in groundwater. This year's heat wave made the situation worse. The summer was especially difficult for people of Nagaur, Bhopalgarh, and Tivri-Mathania regions of Jodhpur block. Farmers in these regions depend on rains for their irrigation and domestic needs, and the unpredictability makes this less than a favorable situation for a state like Rajasthan. Every government which has ruled the state so far has claimed that it has worked to improve groundwater levels, but neither data nor ground realities support these claims. In Mathania, with camera person Milind Wagmare, this is Santia for CNBC-TV18.
All right, that was Santia Gora reporting from Rajasthan, and she has been getting you a lot of stories on the problems faced by the agri-economy in the state. Moving on to the aviation space now, India's biggest airline by market share, Indigo, is inducting Boeing planes into its fleet for the first time to bolster international operations. Official sources tell CNBC-TV18 the airline is inducting up to 4 wide-bodied B-77 planes through wet lease, which means the aircraft will come along with crew, maintenance and insurance. Indigo had confirmed its decision to induct certain fleet for its international operations. However, the airline declined to comment on CNBC-TV18's query if these planes will be Boeing 777. Meanwhile, the 12th edition of CNN News 18's Indian of the Year were announced today. Several personalities were nominated across 5 categories, including social change, climate and sports. Actor Allu Arjun won the Entertainer of the Year award at the event with Alia Bhatt, Kartik Aaryan and Vivek Agnihotri as nominees in the category. We leave you with these pictures. Thank you for watching India Business Hour.
शहर ये मेरी डगर सर पे ये आकाश मेरा है घर
इंडिया कभी झुकेगा नहीं थैंक यू